Hello and welcome back to another Room 3, where last episode we played through the 4th chapter of the game, which was the workshop, and today we'll be playing through the 5th and final chapter of the game, which is the observatory. So let's start off by backing out, turning the camera around, and then heading back through this doorway right here. We're going to head back to the central room to place the engraved pyramid, which we collected in the last episode. So let's head back through this doorway, where we will arrive at the center room, double click to zoom in on the table right here, and then place the pyramid where it belongs, like so. And we will be given a book. Let's go ahead and take the leather-bound book. And what we want to do with this is we want to take it to the library, which we'll find over here we're going to find straight ahead. Right here. This is going to take us upstairs to the library. And then once we enter the room, what we're going to want to do is turn our camera around to the left-hand side. And then place the book right here. And that reveals an elevator. So now let's step into the elevator, and then use the switch right over here to the right, and flip it to the up position. And then from here you should know what to do just as soon as we double click our way out of the elevator and into the next room. This should all look pretty familiar to you. You can see in the very back of the room, there is a power generator, so let's head through this doorway on the left-hand side. And then double-click to zoom in here so that we can align this all. Slide this one to the far left, this one to the far right. This one should go above this plus sign right here so that it connects these two together. And then this one should go over here so that it connects the third one and the fifth one. And that will close the loop to complete the circuit. And now we have to, you guessed it, flip the power switch down. Then follow the cord back into the other room, where we will discover this thing. And what do we have to do? You guessed it, we have to flip all 4 switches up, and then push the button that's going to appear in the center. Muscle memory. Now here's where things get interesting. You'll notice that this one's actually broken. Well, I guess we can read the letter first. I knew you would not disappoint me. You have proven yourself a worthy apprentice, and now you stand on the threshold of a mankind's greatest day. I have not brought you here simply to bear mute witness to my achievements. You have a role to play, one more pivotal than you will ever know. Know that the breakthrough we now make together, I could never have made without your vital contribution. Signed, the Craftsman. Okay, so as I said, this is broken. How do we fix it? Well, let's take the screwdriver right here, and we're going to go all the way back to the study room, which was the first room that we were ever in outside of the main central area. So let's go back in the elevator, turn the camera to the left, flip the switch down. Then head out back into the library. Turn our camera to the right so that we can go back to this main central room. And if we turn our camera to the left once again, we can step through the door into the study. And then if we turn our camera to the right again, we'll see that we can actually unscrew this right here. Let's go ahead and do just that. Go ahead and unscrew it, like so. Then flip the panel open. I said flip the panel open. Take the electrical component that you'll find inside. And then we're going to go all the way back to the other room. So return to the central room. Go into the library on the right. Step back into the elevator. Flip the switch up. Step out into the tower. Turn around. Double click here. Place the electrical component inside. Close the panel. And now it's just a matter of eyeballing it just like we did before. This left one will control the height of the waves. This one will control the width between the waves. He's got an eyeball until it looks just about right, and then you will open your doorway to the final room of the game. Welcome to the Observatory. Okay, a lot of things to interact with here, but we're going to start off by turning our camera to the right and zooming in right over here, and then zooming in again to this little circle. So there's three things that can be rotated here. The main plate itself, the smaller one right here, and then this middle set of lines. The idea here is to align it so that all four red gems are illuminated by some sort of circle or something which can surround it. So for instance, I'll move this out of the way. This one right here, we have to align this little mini circle with the red gem. This one we have to rotate it until the big red gem here is illuminated by the circle. And then this one, again, we rotate it until the top and bottom red gems are illuminated. Once that's the case, you can let it go. And take the etched glass disc. From here, we're going to back out again, turn our attention over to the left-hand side, zoom in on this on the table, and we're going to slide this like so. Place the etched glass disc on, as such. Push this button to turn on the light, and then the idea here is to spell out the word Draco the Dragon. And the way we do that is by rotating this one to the left-hand side until we get the word Draco, and rotating this one to the left-hand side until we get the word Dragon. Then we can take the crystal star, back out, go back over to the star chart that we were looking at just a second ago, and place the crystal in the center, like so. Now you may notice, this constellation looks kind of similar to the one over there on the table, and that's because it is the same, and that chart over there told us which red dots we need to, which things we need to turn red, because if we click on these little dots, they turn red. So, you can go over there and look at the chart if you want, or you can just watch what I do to match it up. So you have to turn this one red, this one red, this one red, and then this one over here red. Once you do that, this little thing is going to flip in the center, and we can collect two important items. We can collect a telescope lens and a scrap of parchment. And we are going to immediately head over back to the table on the left-hand side, zoom in on this piece right here, place the parchment like so. Now the idea here is to move this down until these shapes match up with each other. So the diamond matches up with the diamond, square matches up with the square, and the circle matches up with the circle. We do that by lining it up right here. And when we do that, you'll notice that first off, these are all connected, but also that there are two symbols here next to a star and a moon. Remember these for later. But for now, what we want to do is ignore this, then head over to this crank handle right here. We're going to turn it around. And we'll see a star and a moon with a myriad of symbols to go along with it. So what we have to do here is we have to match the symbol up with what we saw over there. So if you forgot the star symbol, it is going to be this one right here. So all we got to do is just rotate this around until the moon symbol is directly above it. And then we can zoom in right here and rotate this just one slot to the left until this is matched up. And then once you do that, we can head down here, take the broken lens off, and put our fresh telescope lens on. Then what we can do is slide this down so that it kind of looks like a unicorn, then slide this further down to bring it further into focus, and then once it's almost perfect, you can just kind of let it go. Oh, looks like it might be a little bit off. Bring it down a little bit, then zoom it out just a tad. There we go. Now we can take a metal plate. Now, let's go ahead and take this metal plate over to the left, so let's back out and look at this table, and we're going to place the metal plate on top of this parchment, then look through with our eyepiece to see that there are planets spinning around. And what we can see is that when we wait for the planets to line up, we'll see a star and a symbol on the right hand side. Again, if we move this down and wait for the planets to line up, we'll see a moon and a symbol on the right hand side. Now, we're going to immediately use those, as I'm sure you can figure out what we have to do. We have to head over here, go to the star, and then align this with the symbol that we saw just a second ago, which would be the, oh wait, oh, wrong way, it's going to be this one right here. No, not that one, this one. There we go. Then we can head over to the moon and do the same thing with what we saw, which would be this triangle right here. Once we have that in place, we can back out, look through the lens, And then all we gotta do is the same thing before. We just got to zoom in a little bit and adjust it this way so the line of the constellation. And then we can take a large iron handle. Now, let's go ahead and back out from the telescope again. Back out from this room entirely by spinning the camera around, going through the doorway. And turning our attention to the door over here, placing the large iron handle in its place, giving it a good old turn, and watching the doorway open. Alright, let's head on through the door and see what mysteries await us on the other side. This game really is gorgeous on PC. Anyway, so you'll notice that there's a giant sundial out here, and the letters here are W, S, and E, as in west, south, and east. Now let's head over to this little thing right here, and if we look over here, we'll notice that there is also a letter, the letters W, S, and E, but it's not quite aligned with what we saw there, so let's align it so that they fall in place with the direction that we saw them out there. Pick up the large gear we'll find here, then we're going to back out, zoom in this bar here, flip this out, and then pick up the small gear, then back out once again and zoom in on this one, and we have to align, rotate these all around to align them, so we want these two on the side. We want to align this again so that they match up like so. And you'll notice that another part of the observatory just lit up. So, let's go check it out, shall we? Let's go ahead and back out. Spin the camera around. Go back inside. And this is the part of the observatory that was just lit up. So let's go ahead and pull this handle down. And step through into the door. Or through the door into the room. I'm going to zoom in over here and pick up a model sundial from the table. Let's go ahead and take this back outside to the courtyard and place it where it belongs, which is going to be on the model that we saw earlier, because you'll notice it has the letters, but does not have the actual sundial. So let's go ahead and head back outside. Zoom in on the table over on the left, and then place the model sundial where it belongs right here. And give it a good old turn so that it locks in place right over here. Now if we exit out of the model sundial and go over to the real sundial, we'll notice that on the east side right here, there's a little thing we can slide. Let's go ahead and slide it out. Alright, first things first, we're going to place this big old gear right here. Gear fits securely, but I can still remove it, which means that we can use this for a later purpose, so for now we're just going to leave it right there, and then give this old handle a crank, so that it moves the wheel all the way to the left. Then we can take the small gear from here, and then we can pick up this large gear that we just placed down a second ago, slide the switch to the right, slide this switch down. Now we've done the left side, so let's do the right side. What we want to do is place the triangle gear right here, place the big gear right here, and then place the small gear right here. Then all we gotta do is just give the handle a turn. And from here we can pick up a large handle right here, and then what you want to do is make sure you pick up the 3 gears you just placed down a second ago. You're going to need them for later. Then we can back out, head back over to this table right here, go down here, place the large handle, oh no, I did not want to back out, I said place the large handle in its place, then give it a good old turn. And inside we're going to find an intricate orb. Let's go ahead and open this up in our inventory. Rotate this to the side, slide the handle down, like so. And then from here we can pull this outward and take a brass handle. And then we can also take an orb with a socket from the inside. And while we're still in inventory mode, we're also going to look at the brass handle and then slide this up to the top to rearrange it. Now we can go ahead and back out once more, and then return over to the gear puzzle we can find down here. We're going to place this little thing right here. And then rotate the brass handle we've just placed like so until we have the triangle up here, triangle up here at the top like so. And slide the switch down here to the center. You see there's 3 slots right here, the left, middle, right. We want to leave this in the middle. Then all we gotta do is place the 3 gears from before. So place the small gear here, big gear goes here, triangle gear, no, not that, triangle gear goes here. Then we just gotta rotate this handle to move the wheel all the way to the top. And there's our prize, so tantalizingly out of reach. The engraved pyramid which we long for so much. So how do we get it? Well, we gotta get all the planets that just popped up rotating around the sun. So we're gonna start with this planet right here. All we gotta do is just slide this down, and then slide this one down, and then push the button. Now for the next one, all we gotta do is just place the orb with the socket up on top. So let's zoom in and then place it like so. Then push the button on top. Now for the next planet, you'll see that this one actually kind of resembles Earth. And it's a puzzle we gotta solve. All we gotta do is just align it, because these three pieces can be rotated, but this bottom one cannot. So all we gotta do is just align these pieces like so, and then once you match them all up, you will have solved the puzzle. We're almost there. Just gotta align this top part like so, and then go ahead and push this button. Now for the moon, all we gotta do is just rotate these wires around so that this circle right here aligns with this circle in the middle. Go ahead and take the metal casting which we get as a result of it. And we can also take the lens cover that we're going to find in here. Alright, now, it's finally time to put on our eyepiece and look through this, which you might have been wondering about the entire time. All I have to do here is simply rotate this around so that it matches the shape of this metal casting right here. So rotate the bottom to look like this, rotate the middle so that it looks like this, and then rotate the top so that it looks like this. Then place it in, put on the eyepiece once again, and zoom inside. Now we're going to zoom in on this this little table right here, and we're going to rotate this around. Pick up the stone carving we're going to find inside. Now, if you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and back out before things get even creepier. Now then, something I haven't really drawn attention to yet is that if we back out and take a look at these three symbols of flame right here, we find one with a star next to it, one with the moon next to it, and one with nothing next to it. Well, I'm pretty sure you can figure out that these two need to be inputted on the telescope because those had the star and moon dials from before. What about this one? Well, we do have this lens cover. Let's go ahead and return to the main room with the telescope which we started off the chapter in. Turn heads. Actually, I guess we can probably read this now. Now you shall see what this whole adventure has been in pursuit of. Have you ever experienced a moment so tantalizing? This is our prize, yours and mine. Your resistance to the Null is remarkable. None but me could craft this key, and none but you could turn it. I am sure of that now. Everything is in readiness. The last few calculations will pose you little difficulty, and once you open the getaway, I will join you. Let us stride through it together and become the greatest explorers in a dozen generations. Signed, the Craftsman. Now then, now that we've read this lovely little letter, we're going to zoom in to the room right here. And then zoom in on this star dial, and then we're going to rotate it around so that we're going to go actually rotate all the way around because we need to get this S symbol right here. Then zoom in on the moon dial. We're going to need to rotate this one so that it matches up with this one all the way over here. And now for the last one, we're going to zoom in right here, place the lens cover like so, and then all we got to do is rotate this like so until we match it up with the symbol that we had previously found. Now we're going to go back out once again and turn the camera around, zoom into this little connecting room, turn the camera to the right, and then double click to zoom in here. And over here, we're going to find a pedestal similar to what we found in the little mini room. We're going to put this right here. Then we're going to go ahead and rotate it around so that these triangles lock on top of each other. We're going to push this button. And now you may notice that the symbols here are very reminiscent of the symbols over here. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to get all the symbols lined up with where they are on here, which isn't all that complicated. We're going to start with getting the bottom symbols up to the top, so let's move these out of the way. Move the blue one up here. The red one can stay where it is, sort of. What we want to do is we want to move this purple one up here, and then move the green one. Just keep moving them all around until we can make room for the green one to get out. Let's keep them coming, keep them moving. Get the green one up here, and then we'll move this around so that we can shift the green one up into position. Then we'll temporarily move the blue one here, move the white one here. Blue goes up on the top. And now we can keep the white one down here. And the purple one will stay here. White one, as I said previously, is going to stay right here. Yellow one goes here. Orange will also... No, sorry. Orange is coming in here. Red needs to go up there. Let's move the yellow here. Move this. We're gonna get a little bit of a train going to get the orange one out. So let's keep this going around in a circle. Like so that we can allow orange to make his great escape right here. We're going to actually reverse the order right down here because this needs to be on the left, this one's to be on the right. Let's go ahead and move this down where it belongs, move this down here. We're almost done. All we got to do right now is get the yellow one back in the center, so let's go ahead and temporarily keep the train moving by moving this here, moving this up to the right. I said to the right, not down. Yellow goes here. And then all we gotta do is get these into the proper position. So blue goes here, green goes up here, red goes to the right, and that is the puzzle solved. Now, as it is, this can't really do a whole lot for us. But you may notice that there's actually a cord that connects to this machine, which leads back into the main room that we were in just a second ago. So, what you can do is if you turn your camera to the left and go back in here, and then focus back in on the lens which we left up towards the top. There are some pictures that we have to align here that I deliberately avoided doing earlier, so we're going to do it now, because now it's actually going to be of importance to us to line it up, so that we can power up the globe in the other room. And now you'll see that we can actually rotate this globe wherever we want, but it's not of much use to us quite yet. Unless we look over to the left, zoom in on this table right here, where we're going to find that there are certain locations on the globe that are marked for us, giving us certain patterns. So if we go to any one of those locations, we'll start off with the one where they all intersect. Let's go drag it over here. It takes a while to do this because it's quite a pain to have to constantly move it about. We will see exactly where the symbol aligns, and once this red light is blinking, you know you have it down pat, which means you can take the eyepiece off, go ahead and back out, and then go over to this, and then we can copy that pattern in here. So you see it's blinking over here, which means we are okay to type it in. Let's drag it up here, move it down like this to the bottom right, over here, and then close the loop. And then that will stop this from flashing, which means you input it correctly. So now let's back out, and then we get to do that all again. Now we have this locked in place, so we can head on over here and input this into the machine, just like we did the last one. So you can start anywhere with these, but I recommend that for this one you start right here and then work your way up around like this, and then you can close the loop like that. And then once this, just like that, so once this stops blinking, you know you have it right. Let's head back and find the last one. So right here we'll find the next one, and it's the last one that we need to input into the machine. Let's head on over there. Do it just like it's right here, loop it around, nope, not this way, and then here, go around, close the loop back down here, and there you go, that is all three done. So now if we look in here, you may not be able to tell, but we're actually in a maze right now, and it's a maze which we can control. So before I do anything, let me show you over here. This map is going to show you precisely how to get to the end of the maze. So you can follow this if you like. You start here, and then you can follow around, or you can just do what I'm going to show you how to do. So if we zoom in, the way you control this is a little strange. So you use the buttons on the side of this circle to do it. So you want to click on this button at the top to go to the end of the corridor, push the right button to turn to the right, then walk down to the end. Then you want to turn to the left, walk forward until you hit this junction right here, turn to the right, walk down to the end, step on the pressure plates. Once that symbol appears on the wall, you know you've done it. You can turn around to the left, turn around once more, walk forward, turn to the right, walk forward again, and again, then turn right, walk forward, turn left, walk forward, turn left, walk forward, and now you've arrived at the central room in which we can discover that one of these three things is illuminating in the center. So now we can turn ourselves around, go back down the hallway that we just went down, turn right, head down again, then turn right, walk to the end, turn to the left, walk all the way down to the end, and I do mean all the way down until you hit a wall, turn right, I said turn right, keep going once again until you hit a wall, then turn right, move forward, you'll hit a wall pretty quickly, turn to the left, walk forward, and then at the first junction you want to turn to the right, move forward all the way to the end, and then you can step on this pressure plate, then turn around, or turn to the right twice, walk forward, turn left at the first junction, walk forward again, turn left, walk forward, we're back in that central room, and we'll find that another thing is going to shine at the center. Now we only have one more path to take in this maze before we can say goodbye to it forever. So turn around by hitting right twice, go all the way to the end, turn to the right, keep going forth until you hit a wall, turn to the left, once again go forward until you hit a wall, turn right, go all the way to the end, turn right, walk forward to the end, turn left, and then at the first junction you want to go forward and then turn right, go forward twice to go around the structure in the center, turn to the right, walk forward, past the first junction point into the second junction, turn left, go all the way to the end, step on this pressure plate. Once the symbol illuminates, you know you're good, turn right twice to back out, walk forward, turn left, walk forward, turn right, walk all the way to the end, turn to the left, walk forward, you're back in the center room, and then all three things will be illuminated. Now, we can finally say goodbye to that maze, take the orb, back out, turn around. By the way, trust me when I tell you, a little tangent here, but what I just showed you is a lot, that may have seemed cool as a viewer, but let me tell you, playing through it the first time, having to constantly switch back and forth between looking at the map and looking at this, not fun. Anyway, let's back out and go back to the courtyard. That's my rant for the day. So now we're going to turn back, go through this doorway right over here, ascend the stairs, then zoom in on this last thing right here, where we can place the orb like so. Then go ahead, put on your eyepiece, zoom in through the hole. Alright, good news. This is the last puzzle of the chapter that we have to solve, and then we're done. We're almost there. We're almost finished with this chapter. So, fortunately, this one is very, very easy in comparison to the last one. So all you gotta do is, first things first, you need to lift this latch up, rotate this around so that this is underneath it, then bring this down, then circle around, unlatch this, rotate the whole thing around so that this latch lines up with this latch, lock this into place, then rotate the entire thing so that it lines up with this handle right here, slide the handle down, then push the button on top, and just like that, after a half hour of turmoil, the engraved pyramid is yours to take. Chapter complete. The stars themselves conspire to block your path through the observatory, but your perseverance is admirable. Does each step move you closer to freedom, or deeper within this tangled maze? Well, I guess we'll find out next time, because that will be it for this episode of The Room 3. Next episode, I'm going to show you all 4 endings, because yes, this game has 4 endings. I'm going to show you how to get each and every one of them with timestamps in the next episode later today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all later today for the finale of The Room 3. Goodbye.